Today I thought we'd have an interesting discussion talking about the idea that Pokemon investing will never be the same again. I find this topic to be very interesting to talk about, especially because I am in this whole Pokemon investing world. So after you finish watching this video, comment down below your opinions about this topic because I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. So I first want to talk about the different Pokemon booms that have happened, and really only two come to mind. So as you can see here, the first Pokemon boom that really happened was when it first came out, but that's not really relevant to talk about. But the first boom I want to talk about is Pokemon Go. So before Pokemon Go was released, Pokemon, it was popular, but it wasn't like a mainstream thing, right? It wasn't as popular as it is now, obviously. But Pokemon Go caused a huge surge of popularity in Pokemon. But Pokemon Go, even though Pokemon did have a huge surge in popularity at the time, it was mainly just the app. People didn't really translate, Pokemon Go into Pokemon cards. Like, maybe some people did get into Pokemon cards because of Pokemon Go. But other than that, people are just interested in the app. So we're talking about Pokemon investing here, specifically cards. So Pokemon Go, in my opinion, isn't really a relevant, boom to talk about because it wasn't really about cards. But then 2021, everyone knows what was going on in the world. Everyone was at home. And Pokemon cards started to get popular because people online were opening Pokemon packs. Like Logan Paul, we all know what happened. And Pokemon cards specifically got very popular. And during this time, it was the Sword and Shield era. And a lot of these, products started getting printed a lot because there's a lot of demand for it. So a lot of them were getting printed more than ever. And since we're now post-boom, a lot of people say that this time is different, that since the whole Pokemon boom during 2021, this has never happened before with Pokemon. So pretty much all the boxes, before the boom, it was different. That all the prices we're seeing with Sun and Moon, XY, those boxes, a lot of them are in the thousands. That this is not going to happen with Sword and Shield or any other era after the boom because, this boom was an anomaly. And that, even though there were people that got out of the hobby since the boom, there's still a lot of people that are still into Pokemon. And that because of this, it is different. That now, post-boom, everyone, Pokemon investing is more popular than ever. Back then, we all have to kind of be realistic. Pokemon investing, yes, it was a thing, but it wasn't as, mainstream as it is now. So, Pokemon investing right now is super popular more than ever. More product is being printed than ever, at least, that's what people say, with Sword and Shield and even Scarlet and Violet. And then also, that just because of the boom and just popularity that, it's different now. So I just want to kind of just talk about this topic and just, I don't know, speculate about the future. And there's really no answer or anything to this question or this whole video in general. But I just mainly want to make this video to see what you guys have to say about this. That do you think Pokemon investing is different? Do you think that since the boom, that what we're seeing with Sun and Moon and XY, that this is not going to happen with Sword and Shield? Do you think this is going to happen? Or do you think Sword and Shield still has the potential to, go up to these prices like Sun and Moon boxes are? Because the way I see it is that specifically Sun and Moon, not Sun and Moon, but Sword and Shield. I don't want to talk about Scarlet and Violet because Scarlet and Violet is still very new. But this is the way I see it, is that, Sword and Shield was a different era. I know a lot of people don't like to, people aren't really into Sword and Shield right now. People are into Scarlet and Violet, but we all have to, be honest with ourselves. Sword and Shield was a very different time. Sword and Shield was the time of the boom. And that's one thing I think people don't understand when I talk about Sword and Shield boxes and how, even though some of them are expensive, that's why I still talk about their good pickups, is that Sword and Shield was the time of the boom. Scarlet and Violet was post-boom. Scarlet and Violet, I think it'll still do well, right? But the difference is that Sword and Shield was in that time of the boom where a lot of people were into Pokemon. And because of that, I feel like out of all the eras, maybe Scarlet and Violet, maybe Scarlet and Violet is different. Maybe this era will take a long time to go up in value or whatever. But I think Sword and Shield is different in the way that it was during the boom, and it was and just the cards and the artworks inside of Sword and Shield are just so special that I feel like if any era is going to perform as well as past eras before the boom, it's going to be Sword and Shield, just in my opinion. So I just want to show, I guess, some prices of some boxes from XY era, Sun and Moon, and then show some good sets from Sword and Shield, and just kind of speculate a little bit. Do you think in the time frame that some of these Sun and Moon boxes and some of these XY boxes have gone up in value, do you think Sword and Shield can perform the same? I just want to have this speculation, and there's really no answer. I can't give an answer to what's going to happen in the future, but I find it very interesting to speculate about prices and if it's going to be different this time, like a lot of people say it's going to. So XY. So I'm just showing some popular sets from XY. So we have Phantom Forces. Phantom Forces is $2,500. And this set is around 10 years old. So in 10 years, this box is now $2,500. Flashfire. Flashfire is also very popular. This box is $3,000 to $3,500. It's around the same age. It's like 10 years old. Then Sun and Moon. So this is a very interesting box and set that I kind of, it gives me some hope that modern boxes, even, I know this was still, before the boom. But these kind of boxes, especially from Sun and Moon, give me hope that Sword and Shield can at least follow a somewhat similar trend. Because Team Up. Team Up is only 5 to 6 years old. I think people don't understand that. Yes, Team Up, I'm pretty sure Team Up was one of those sets that also got reprinted, a good amount. But Team Up, I remember this box a couple of years ago being $800. Like, I remember on TCG Player going on there, it was $800. And I thought that was super expensive. And a couple of years, forward, this box is $2,500 to $3,000 sold. So this just gives me some hope that even modern boxes, Sword and Shield, still have some potential that they can perform very well. Because even post boom, after everyone got out of Pokemon stuff, this Team Up box has still rose in value so much within the past year. So I think it's really interesting to see that even still more of the modern sets, not even XY, we're talking Sun and Moon. This isn't a very old set, that this has gone up this much in value. I find it very interesting. Then Cosmic Eclipse. Cosmic Eclipse is another very good set. Same thing, this box is only 5 years old. And yet it's around $1,000. So when people like to have this idea that Pokemon investing now is different, I mean, look at these Sun and Moon boxes. I mean, we're after the boom. People gotta understand. I know people could say, oh, this is still, the residual effects because of the boom. But look at TCG Player. These Sun and Moon boxes specifically, XY is not really as relevant to talk about, but Sun and Moon, these boxes are not that old, 5 years old. There are some Sword and Shield sets out there that are almost 4 years old now, like Evolving Skies. Those are, like, Evolving Skies is almost like 3.5 years old right now. So it's a matter of time where I'm like, can these boxes go up to this price from Sword and Shield? And that's what I want to talk about. So, Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies is a little bit over 3 years old now. Evolving Skies is $700 a box. Evolving Skies, I feel like, is one of those sets, even if any sets are going to go up that much in value, I feel like Evolving Skies is going to be the first one, obviously. But this is only 3 years old, a little bit over. It's $700 a box. I think Evolving Skies can perform somewhat similarly to Team Up. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get up to this price in a few years from now, but I think a very, very similar trend can follow with some very good sets like Evolving Skies. So it will be interesting to see in the future what happens. But now I want to talk about more of the Sword and Shield sets that really aren't like Evolving Skies level, because Evolving Skies is an anomaly. I'm not going to deny that. But sets like Fusion Strike. This right now is like $200. I know I'm saying like only $200, but this set is a little bit over 2 years old. And it'll be interesting to see in years, to come, like 3 years, 4 years from now, what price of this box, what will it be? Because we have seen, in the past like 6 months, these Sword and Shield boxes really haven't been doing that much, and Fusion Strike is really no exception. But will it be the same? It's really interesting to think about how these boxes, how expensive they're going to be in the future, because everyone is saying that this time is different. But it's going to be interesting to see in the future what this will be. Lost Origin, a set that I'm very heavily invested into, and I really believe this box has done very well in the past year. But still will be interesting to see, because this box is only 2 years old now. Where this will go in the next year, next 2 years, we will see. But Lost Origin, I feel like it's a really good set. Not Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars, another one, it's only $180. And this set is a little bit over 2 years old. Will this, how will it perform in the future? It's only $180 right now, 2 years old. What will it be in a year or two from now? It'll be interesting to see. Astral Radiance is only like $160, and it's a few years old. Silver Tempest is almost 2 years old now, and you can still get on Pokemon Center, so it's like $143, or market price right now is $160. So honestly, there's really no point to this whole video other than to just kind of bring up the topic that is this time really different? Are we going to see, gains like we have seen with Sun and Moon, XY, with Sword and Shield? A lot of people think it's impossible, but look at Evolving Skies. yes, this set is an anomaly, but it gives me some hope that, you know, even though modern product hasn't been printed a lot, there's a lot of demand for a lot of these products, especially in Sword and Shield. I think, you know, we're aiming for the next few years. I think they're going to be very good for Sword and Shield. But are they going to perform like Sun and Moon XY? Maybe not, but I still think there's a lot of potential for these, you know, new sets and new eras. I think they'll still perform well, but we're post boom now, and it'll be very interesting to see what the future holds and how these will perform in the future. So also I wanted to say today, just kind of bring up some speculation in this topic. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you think, and I'll see you guys on the next one.